Hello and welcome to A Tale as Tales short story. This week I'm speaking about, as the title said, less than 12 hours within London. You will not believe what had happened to me this week. Believe it or not, between the Sunday just gone and next, the 31st of July, I was meant to be in London for 2 weeks. The following story basically comes into from the Sunday until the Monday of the, I believe it was the 17th just gone. I basically travelled to London on the Sunday evening, going to be doing work for the 2 weeks. I was going to travel to my brand new office where for the company I work for, where I'd never been before, never met anyone within the company in person before, never met anybody in person period for this company, and not been to the office before. I had booked a hostel for 2 weeks, had paid up some money up front, and I was going to travel down from Wiltshire to London on the Sunday. Got down there, basically got into the hostel, lovely hostel, for those who think that maybe hostels aren't that nice. I'm just going to post a couple of photos up here. There, as you can see, good lighting, basic stuff. I had the entire room to myself. I had 12 bunks, 12 bunks all to myself. And the idea was that I was going to be here. I'd packed everything. I'd brought change of clothes and everything for the space of 2 weeks. So I get down there on the Sunday, go to bed, ready, and wake up in the next day for the Monday morning and travel. I do the normal thing where I've mapped out my day. I know exactly what I'm going to be doing. First 2 hours of the day, I'm going to have to be traveling to work, but I can't get into the office until 10:30. That worried me because that was when my induction was going to be for being shown around the office, basically. And it felt a little bit late in the day. I normally start work at around either 8:15 or 8 o'clock. So, me being me, I get up early, around 6:45, get out the door, and I walk to work, which is around a 50-minute walk from the hostel to the office, which is based where I was coming from was from Hyde Park and was going to be going into Hammersmith. And beautiful walk. And as I go along, I have to work in a couple of coffee shops for a couple of hours to get some work done in the morning from around, I want to say, 8 o'clock till around 9ish. So I get an hour of work done. I then think, no, I'm just going to head into the office, take my chances, and see if I can get the induction done earlier than that. So I get to the office. I've had 2 coffees already. I've done my hour of work. I get in and I've already said morning to the team and everything. I get there and I say to the lady at the front desk, would you mind getting the lady from the company I work for to come down and see me a little bit earlier? She pings an email and I end up doing another, I want to say 40 minutes work down in the reception area. So finally, I get down to, the receptionist gets down to the ground floor and says, "Oh, great to see you. Come up. We'll do the show around the office." And so she shows me around the office, and it's lovely. She's a lovely person. It was really nice and welcoming, really friendly. She shows me around this office, standard office in London, up to date, lovely kitchen, balcony, lovely view of the surrounding London area. And I get shown to my desk, standard area. All of these things, whiteboard, all of those things for software development, just basic stuff. I then get time to do some further work. So I've done around, by this time it's around 10 o'clock. I have a meeting at 11. And she'd shown me around the office. By the time it was 10:15. So I get around 45 minutes worth of more work done. So by the time my meeting comes around, I've got some work done in the morning, a little bit intermittent. As you can see throughout my day, it's been a little bit staggered, all the way from Sunday down to the Monday morning. And I get through one of our normal meetings, we do an hour catch up, and it gets to the end of the meeting, and I see some movement in my left-hand side. I've got big headphones on, so I can't really hear my surrounding area. And I'm thinking to myself, what's going on over there? Packages are being handed to people. handed out to people who are in the office. There's only around 10 of us in the office, so it must be important, these packages. And the reception person comes over to me and she says to me, Chris, we're going to have to close the office. And I have to take my headphones off because I'm a little bit like, what are you talking about? And I thought she was joking at first, because obviously I'd come all the way down from Wiltshire. I'd spent the night, had everything booked. I then look at her and she says, no, Chris, somebody had got COVID from the week before and we've got to close the office because this person has basically contaminated the office. And she passes me a rapid test flow kit. Spoiler alert, I don't have COVID. I did a rapid flow test flow the 2 days after the event and on the day as well, and no, both negative. I then have to explain to my boss that the office that I've travelled to from Wiltshire is now closing, and I now have to spend the rest of the day travelling all the way back to Wiltshire. And so I end up having to use my lunch break to walk all the way back to my hostel, get all my stuff. I have a suitcase full of clothing and a backpack full of computers and equipment, and I have to then lug those all the way from the hostel, which is another 21-minute walk, to London Paddington, figure out how I'm going to get from London Paddington back to Wiltshire, what time and all that. And by the time I get to London Paddington, it's 33 degrees, so you can imagine I'm soaked to the bone. Like, I am drenched. And so by the time it got to getting back to Wiltshire, it was something like 5 o'clock in the evening. I'd spent half the day travelling, and I'd spent less than 12 hours in London. And so this is my story. And for those who are wondering, I did get a refund for the hostel, and the guy at the front desk was amazing in the Hyde Park area. So fantastic response from him. But all round, extremely stressful day. So for those who may be thinking like COVID isn't a real thing, the pingdemic is a real thing. My office got pinged, and plenty of other places got shut down on that Monday of so-called Freedom Day. And so that's how my Chris Taylor, The Taylor's Tales short story ends, with the reality of a pingdemic.